Let me run something by you. Does an app that alerts you for when there's ICE agents nearby, does that sound legal to you? All right, let me sum it up for you. You sign up. Other people, just kind of like it's the Waze app for traffic, or if they see a crash or if they see a speed trap or if they see a busted tire in the road, they put it on the app and it alerts everyone in the area. So for this one, if someone sees an ICE agent, they put it on the app and everyone within a 5-mile radius gets a push notice. My next guest is going to talk about the legality of such things. Kate Lincoln-Goldfinch, she is a Texas immigration attorney back on the James Show. What are the rules? Where are the boundaries on alerting people when it comes to ICE agents and ICE raids, Kate?
Anything illegal about alerting people of an ICE raid? I mean, the illegality comes in when people obstruct an action or interfere with an action. But just notifying people that an action is taking place doesn't seem problematic or illegal on its face to me.
What if the specific intent of notifying people is to disrupt the aid and help people disrupt the raid and help people escape arrest?
Well, I doubt that could be proven. I mean, my guess is that the intent is so that people could, stay away, be clear of the area. And I mean, I think the counter argument, of course, is that it's when ICE is behaving in the way that they have been, where they're making arrests in plain clothes with face covering and refusing to identify themselves, and there's vigilantes on the street who are also, harassing migrants. I mean, this is an era where ICE is really acting in pretty bad faith. This is a way that the community is protecting itself. That's my immediate reaction to it. I don't know anything about who the developers are or what the stated reasons for the app are. That's not something I'm knowledgeable about. But just having a system where people can notify each other, that seems fine to me. I mean, I would caution that people take care. I mean, there's so many rumors that fly about ICE raids, and so if somebody just sees police or state trooper, they might claim that it's a raid when it isn't. So you also kind of have to take all of these rumor type situations with a grain of salt.
All right, Kate Lincoln-Goldfinch, I could play the rest of that cut from CNN that kind of explains it, and maybe this will clear up the situation a little bit.
Now, how does this work, Claire, and what are the legal implications?
Yeah, John, I talked with Joshua Aaron, who is the longtime tech worker who developed this platform, and he said he really wants it to be an early warning system for people about the location of immigrations and customs enforcement officers. So he says he does not want people interfering with those officers' activity, but he does want people to be able to avoid them altogether if they want. So you open the app, it looks like a map, and users can tap the map to report an ICE sighting in their area.
Okay, so the guy says his specific intent is for people to avoid ICE detention. Does that change anything?
Well, not avoid ICE detention, but avoid ICE raids. So if ICE is in an area just indiscriminately picking people up and someone says, I mean, it's sort of like a radar detector, right? It's like, okay, I don't think I'm going to speed down that road, or I don't think I'm going to go down that road. Obstruction is like, a case where somebody says, oh, no, nothing to see here, and they hide someone in their car, or they put them in the trunk and drive away, and that person is actively being sought out by ICE. Those are two very different things. So, no, I mean, this doesn't strike me as illegal on its face whatsoever. And again, I think that these types of things would not be necessary if ICE were behaving as we would expect them to behave as regular law enforcement, under people's constitutional rights. But they've just consistently been violating people's rights and trust. And so this is the consequence of behaving like that as a law enforcement agency. It's natural.
Yeah, for the rest of us, though, we don't see it like that. I don't. Whose rights are being violated? If you're here legally and they have the paperwork to prove that you're here legally, I don't mean like their immigration paperwork, but this definitely sounds like they're interfering with ICE being able to detain people, because that's all ICE does. They don't throw water balloons. They don't deliver pizzas. They go out and detain people in the field. And so what other reason could you warn people about an ICE agent other than to help them escape detention?
I'll push back on you. They are absolutely 100% detaining people who are in legal status. People who have work permits, people who are in court process, people who are doing everything the right way. I have many, many clients who are in that situation. So no, they're not acting in good faith. And again, they're doing this sort of like plain clothes, off the street, surprise attacks with face coverings on, and then they also refuse to identify themselves. That is highly unusual law enforcement behavior. This is at the same time when immigrants are actually also being attacked by vigilantes who order police vests on Amazon and go around harassing people. I mean, there are a few women who have been sexually assaulted by men dressed up as ICE agents. So one would expect the immigrant community to be distrustful and want to know, if before I cooperate and get down on my hands and knees and put my arms behind my back, like, are you actually a police officer? And this is why we see, in the state of New York, there's proposed legislation to disallow ICE agents from just covering their faces. I mean, they're really acting terribly out there on the streets. It's legitimately bad. And even whether or not you think, that immigrants should be rounded up or not, the way that they are going about this is absolutely horrific, and they are separating families of people who have no criminal histories. I heard of a case this morning, mom, dad, 2 kids. The children were sent to one detention center, the mom was sent to another one, and the dad was sent to a 3rd detention center. Now, what could possibly be the purpose for that? ICE is behaving absolutely terribly, and I think everybody in this country needs to be responding and saying this is not who we are, regardless of where you fall in the immigration. This is not how we treat human beings.
All right, Kate, you say all this is like shocking and beyond the pale. It sounds absolutely normal to me. If me and Miss Parker and the kids went and robbed a bank, wouldn't we all 3 go to different detention facilities?
They didn't rob a bank. They didn't commit a crime. They're in legal process. These are people who are following the rules and doing it the right way.
Okay, if we were arrested for whatever reason, wouldn't we go to different detention facilities, me, my wife, and my kids?
First of all, you wouldn't be You wouldn't be
so that's a
arrested
yes.
as an entire family. Why would you arrest children?
Thank you, Kate. Kate Lincoln-Goldfinch. You can find her at Lincoln-Goldfinch.com, a Texas immigration attorney. I appreciate you coming on the show.